you and I knew, and everybody who's hip to this knows, she made it up.
Hi, all. Welcome to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Maureen Callahan, host of The Nerve with Maureen Callahan. You've been all over this Meghan Markle stuff, and I'm sure you've seen in at least my comments underneath my Meghan toilet roll picture. Everybody's like, "We need your commentary," so that we're giving the people what they want today. And you've got plenty of Meghan commentary on The Nerve as well.
I do. Excuse me, my phone. How rude! I'm turning it off right now.
Yeah, that's so Meghan Markle of you.
I know, right? Power down. Like is that not a metaphor for all things Meghan? Just power down. So, here's the thing. You and I consider ourselves like the Justice League. Those Saturday morning cartoons. There's an emergency happening and we dropped everything to commute. And by the way, just may I note, I'm wearing my Nashville t-shirt in effigy for the Kidman Urban Union.
Thank you.
So yeah, and I saw your post with Meghan with the toilet paper wrap, and I thought it was brilliant. Very Andy Warhol of you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk all about Paris because that's what the people want. But can I just ask you, as I'm curling my eyelashes to see you a few minutes ago, it occurs to me, I'm so frustrated over this mental health award that they're accepting on Thursday. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you say you've started this parenting network. They're accepting this award because they've started this parenting network
about online bullying.
About online bullying, right? And I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't it be so much more meaningful if you said, thank you for the opportunity, but we want to hand it over to these parents that had the courage to discuss the loss of their child, and give a platform to a courageous family that is willing to talk about the loss, the loss that they suffered in the form of their baby over online bullying. And then I start to think, well, why the hell would they do that? And then I go back to, do you remember this? Prince Harry having the audacity to accept that Pat Tillman award.
Mm-hmm. And even Pat Tillman's mother was like, I don't agree with this.
Oh my God. And I had forgot. Everybody keeps saying, well, he accepted the Legend of Aviation's award and he couldn't even pass his test. And I'm like, yeah, but to me, the Pat Tillman award there was so much more vulgarity in him hopping up on stage and gleefully accepting that award, knowing that Pat Tillman gave his freaking life and Harry couldn't even cut it as a member of the royal family. He quit his job.
If you side by side, do a side-by-side comparison of Pat Tillman versus Harry. Pat Tillman, for anyone who may be too young to know, was an American football star, NFL professional player, incredibly good looking, had everything going for him. 9/11 happens and he gives it all up to enlist in the military and is killed by friendly fire. Okay? The guy is an American hero. Harry takes his scrotum, hands it to Meghan, runs and scampers away from the evil royals, then whinges and moans for the next 10 years. He's been given everything on his silver platter. Now, to your original question, why wouldn't they just say, you know what, lovely honor, we'd be happy to attend and support, but really we would love it to see it go to a courageous couple or parent who has spoken out about their child who died by as a result of online bullying. I mean, the answer is simple. You're asking them to do the right and decent thing. No such thing. 2 very quick points. We're advocating for children and bullies. We know Meghan is a bully, allegedly, reportedly. Buckingham Palace has a file this thick on her. Number 2, she sat front row at Balenciaga, a house who, as I discussed on The Nerve, just 2.5 years ago came under fire for an ad campaign that was absolutely bald-faced, shamelessly promoting. Thirdly, she sat in that front row, and there's a clip going viral right now of Meghan, who seems to be laughing in the front row as a model walking the Balenciaga show, tripped, and she turns to her companion to look at him for affirmation. Isn't this funny? We're laughing at the misfortune of another, and the guy sits there stone-faced. He won't even make eye contact with her. This woman is poison. I don't know when the culture at large or the elites are going to get the message, but hey, keep inviting her to your stuff. Do it.
Yeah. That was Marcus Anderson, who is, leadership in Soho. Soho
Soho
House.
House.
And I think that he knows how to behave, like act like you've been there before. Like you don't
Exactly.
giggle
Act
and
like you've been there before.
you don't giggle and cackle when somebody trips on a runway or and you did it's almost like she registers it's not appropriate and she quickly turns around and you're just like this is do you know how to function as a human being?
She's vile. What it shows, if that is indeed what happened, that a model tripped and she laughed at it, uh, and openly laughed. She knows cameras are on her. I mean, this is the entire point of the trip. Cameras,
Mm-hmm.
cameras, cameras. Uh, she thinks it's funny. She thinks she takes joy in the misfortune of others. And if this isn't, and I'm going to extrapolate, but fairly, I think, if this isn't further proof, apparently, and I know we'll get to it, William is fuming over that stunt she pulled, filming herself driving past the tunnel where Diana died. But if this isn't further proof that this is a malignant narcissist, my opinion, who revels in the misfortune of others and should be kept away by all measure, I guarantee you she took joy in Catherine's illness. I guarantee you.
Oh my gosh. Well, so I had to unfollow somebody I've worked with in the past because they wrote some article saying that if any other royal would have taken that video, which by the way they don't because they
They
don't feel the
wouldn't. They
need
would never.
they don't feel the need to document like their feet up on a seat. But if any other royal would do that, people would be like, "Ah, heart emoji." And I was like, "What a moron you are to defend this." I she knew what she was doing, Maureen. You can't I mean, actually what was so funny to me was when I sent you the videos, because I screenshot like a creep. You're like, how basic. And then I'm like, no, she's by Diana's death scene. And then you were like, she is sick. I mean, you're right, she's basic. But then you realize that this is more calculated than it
Mm-hmm.
appears to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think it's because she thinks she is one step ahead of us all of the time. And it's like, no, we know exactly what you're doing. That's what you're doing is you you don't deserve the Duchess title is like the nicest way I can put it.
I just hope Williams, he's really it's a Sophie's choice because if he strips her and Harry of the titles, then it becomes more narrative, more fuel.
Yeah,
If he
but
can
then
just
she
sort of,
becomes she actually becomes a princess then, which is almost like, oh, I'd rather her be a
oh,
duchess than a
but the
princess.
Princess Henry, right?
Yes,
She would be
yeah.
it's not Princess Meghan, it would be the Princess Henry.
Well, Tyler Perry doesn't care. He's still going to call her Princess Meghan like he did on Twitter when it was her birthday.
The Diana death tunnel disaster tourism moment is so ghoulish and so vile. And she knows, and we have talked about the reporting that she exploited that mother wound in order to sink her nails into him. And wearing Diana's favorite perfume, their first date, all this really creepy stuff. um if he doesn't wake up to this, I mean, there is zero hope for him. I began to think he is waking up, with that footage we both talked about last week of the two of them at Kevin Costner's 805 charity event, and he was on stage having his moment, and she apparently counter to what he told her, which is, "Don't come on stage," came on
Right.
stage.
Yeah.
And his back was to her, and she taps him like, "Here I am," and he like record. He's like, "What?" So I began to think, okay, is he? Are we waking up a little bit? Are we coming out of this years long coma?
Well, yeah, we'll have to in a second. I want to predict how we think they're going to act in New York because that's one of the first things I said to you. Like, I'm curious to see how their body language will be in New York based on this trip because I feel like she was insensitive to Harry's feelings. And I saw some people in the comments that were like, Kinsey, wake up. Harry's not a victim. He's not a victim. But you know what I would say? And I'm not a professional. I don't think he's mentally stable either. So I do think,
Agreed.
like,
Agreed. As I said to you, who better to get an award about mental health and humanitarianism than these two, the gruesome twosome themselves?
right, right. Okay. This is kind of a question that's beneath us, but I have to ask, I just couldn't do this. Okay.
Please.
Why did she post multiple photos of her and her friends with their feet on the seats in the car? Are they trying to look relatable? Because to me, it just looks rude.
Hmm.
Germs are
Hmm.
on the sidewalk,
Hmm.
especially in Paris. Okay.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't want that on the butt of my pretty dress, my nice dress, if I'm the next person to rent this minivan. I just, I couldn't understand. She tries to tell us she wants us to refer to her as her title. She's constantly telling us that she is, she's wearing $300,000 worth of jewelry. The feet on the freaking seat. It's low class.
She's utterly classless. She's utterly classless. And it's always those people who have to make a big show. I mean, it runs right counter to her Netflix enterprise in which she's the hostess of Nonpareil and how to do things. That is a private driver's car. That car belongs to somebody, whether it's an individual or a corporation. You don't put your feet up. I wouldn't do it in an Uber that
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I, I,
no.
I don't do it. I think part of it is I actually don't think it's about proving you're relatable. It's look at me. Because first
Mm.
of all, she's wearing Hermes mules that cost, at least $1,000. So as you said, everything is deliberate. I think that we've got the other feet up because she's proving she has friends. Those are paid
Paid.
hair and makeup
Yeah.
people. I guarantee you.
Yeah, it's Daniel. I mean, It's Daniel.
Daniel needs to get the effing memo. I saw him go online and he's like, we just had such a win in Paris. And I'm just going to walk you through all of the makeup I used on Meghan and what I did and how I did it. And, for beginning, I used my usual skin prep and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling past Daniel.
right.
Daniel, she humiliated you.
Mm. Well,
Season
everybody was
one,
talking
part
about
A.
the lack of orange. So we do thank Daniel for chilling out when it comes to the bronzer, but maybe that was like with the 5150 dress, maybe that was a necessity to chill out on the bronzer because she didn't want to get any stains on it or
I
something.
agree. She looks ridiculous. So my favorite, when I talked about it on the Nerve the other day, is her exiting the hotel, right? And the paparazzi's lined up, and I think they're trolling her. They're like, Meghan, beautiful as ever. I think they're trolling her, and she's got her jaw. I call it the dislocated jaw. It's just come unhinged, and we're doing our best '90s supermodel face. Like Kate Moss would never. Okay,
No.
Kate Moss is my queen. She's
Yeah.
stumbling around Paris Fashion Week drunk in designer jeans and looking amazing. But this one, it's like her best Zoolander, her best Blue Steel, the slow walk. And I honestly wonder if the house is trolling her because what they put her in, she's a small person and she is swallowed up by this swaths of messianic fabric. It's like Jesus Christ himself walking, from hotel to SUV. And you notice in that one reel where she stops before she clambers inside that SUV, no doubt to put her filthy feet up. And she turns ever so. Have you gotten,
Yeah.
have you
Did you
gotten
get
all of
what you
this?
want?
Have
Yeah.
you gotten this masterpiece?
That's what kills me, like, because Harry says the UK is not safe for him to bring his wife and children, but she goes to the same city where his mother loses her life and engages voluntarily with the paparazzi who Harry single-handedly blames for his mother's death.
Without royal protection. Again,
Right.
all of those symmetries with Diana. Now, the one thing I will say she did not do, and I doubt it was for lack of trying, because as Rob Shooter broke it down masterfully over on the Nerve the other day, she didn't pay for any of this. Balenciaga paid for all of it, including the airfare, the hotel, what have you. She stayed, I believe, at the Plaza Athénée. She did not stay at the Ritz, where Diana spent the last days of her life. And I guarantee you, she would have been on the phone going, what suite was she in? Book me in
Mm-hmm.
it.
I want to be there. Yeah, it's funny you talk about that mouth because I wish I could remember the photographer's name, but I worked on a set with a Playboy photographer. And I remember he kept telling, it was like a happy girl. And he kept telling the girl, no smile, slightly open mouth, because
Sexy baby pose. So
yeah, he was
creepy.
trying to like he wanted a sexy face. So he kept saying, no smile, slightly open mouth. And I kept seeing her do that and then sucking in her cheeks,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
while walking around talking to people. And I was like, you look ridiculous. Do you have any idea what you look like? Do you function in the real world like a normal person?
The double air kissing, like we're European, you know,
Oh my
to all of
gosh.
these strangers. it was the designer Balenciaga who she almost like crashed her head into while
Well,
attempting to like.
yes, I'm glad you brought that up because so there, I did a big breakdown of why I think the Kardashians have now officially entered the chat because of their relationship with Balenciaga and how there is really no connection to this new creative director and Meghan Markle. And I feel like that video of them awkwardly assaulting each other's
Hmm.
faces
Hmm.
is proof that there's no relationship there. Now,
100%.
Us Weekly, of course, to the rescue, writes an article after my video's up saying, here's why Meghan Markle was at the Balenciaga show. And they say
Hi,
Meghan Markle.
Megan.
Yeah.
Hi.
And they're like, Meghan Markle is friends with the creative director. The man does not follow her on Instagram. If she's some little muse for this new creative director, he'd watch her every moment. He'd want to follow her on Instagram. He doesn't
Hmm.
follow any Meghan related accounts.
Hmm.
And you could tell by that interaction that they weren't familiar with each other.
Not at all. Not even a passing acquaintanceship. They haven't even exchanged DMs ever. And it's remarkable too because I also loved Kristen Scott Thomas, the elegant Kristen Scott Thomas, just completely blanking Meghan as she tried to insert herself into a conversation that Kristen was having with somebody else. And we know Kristen is famously pro monarchy. And I believe was most recently, you would know better than I, she was invited to something, a very high level event with the
Well,
royals,
she played the queen too
with the
on
Queen's blessing.
yeah, yeah. And I love her in the movie called Life is a House with Kevin Kline. Have you ever watched that?
Never seen it.
Oh my gosh, Hayden Christensen is so sweet in that. I named my goldfish after him, just so you
After
know.
Hayden?
Yeah, meaningful. It was called Sam after his
Well,
character in
where's
Life is a
Val
House.
Kilmer in your house?
This was, I mean, I'm 13, I think of it, maybe
Oh, okay,
14 at the
okay,
time,
okay.
but
So
Val
okay.
Kilmer had not
I
entered
thought
the
you
chat
meant
yet.
circa now.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
But yeah, no, in that, go back and watch that interaction if you're watching this, because that's when Megan's cheeks get real deep. And I'm like, what is she, did she swallow a lifesaver? Like, is it's like, it is
Yeah.
so weird to witness. I mean, the walk, I peed my pants when I read somebody say she looks like she just had a hip replaced. The way
So
she's
funny.
like, what? I just, and then I was really annoyed with some of the commentary saying Megan's back at Fashion Week.
She never
She went to
went.
Toronto fashion. And no offense to Toronto. I know
No
I keep saying
offense.
no offense to Toronto, but Megan crawling into Toronto Fashion Week is not the same as somebody at Balenciaga having little sense and going, this seems like an interesting PR stunt.
And again, no sense on Meghan Markle's part to go, you know what? My debut at a major fashion week, be it Paris, New York, Milan, London, the only ones that matter, should not be at a house that most recently weathered a crisis.
Yeah.
That should not be it. But, cameras are cameras, attention is attention. And as you were talking about the walks, you got to imagine Meghan in the weeks leading up to this most momentous event for her,
While listening to
practicing
Duolingo.
her
While listening to
best
Duolingo.
while listening to Duolingo, because we're relearning French. We're not learning it, right? We heard no French uttered, by the way, on any of these reels, right? So she's a liar, my opinion. But you gotta imagine her practicing her best catwalk in the Montecito mansion, back and forth and in varying heel heights, and having her paid minions tell her, "Oh, you're looking amazing." Like, it had to be epic levels of delulu over there.
Oh my gosh. We need our insider. This is a call out to our insider. Yeah, because when I had this conversation about Paris, then over to New York, one of my friends is like, when does she see her children? And I was like, why would she need to? She's got 50 nannies on call.
Right? Right. I mean, the children, Kinsey, what are you talking about? They're over there somewhere. They're being attended to. They get fed, they go to school, whatever. When we're not reading to them, like at night, we again, uh, I'm dying for the awards in New York. I cannot wait for those to take place. I cannot wait to hear the speeches I am sure we are going to get. When I was 11, I wrote a letter to a dish soap company.
I
I'm
know.
sure
I
we are
just
going to get that.
And Tom Bauer just reiterating again. Oh, I talked to him last week. He's like, that story is not true. She
Right,
completely made that up.
right. It was a class project.
Yeah. Well, and he said that like there was no back and forth. Like he said Thomas Markle admitted to him that he had lied to Meghan a little bit to make her feel special. And I'm like, well, that explains a lot of what we're dealing with today, Thomas Markle Sr. Okay.
He unleashed this monster onto the world. She's never leaving. Like she won't leave. Like, you would think that lack of exchange with a Kristen Scott Thomas would be a humbling, humiliating moment for her, where she might take stock. No, no, no. We just move on to the next target. It's trash in that front row. She was seated next to Tracy Ellis Ross, a nepo baby, a dum dum, whose most recent project was a three-part Hulu travel series in which Tracy boasted about being an intrepid female solo traveler, and she goes to these foreign lands and she never leaves her five-star hotels ever,
Oh my
ever.
gosh.
The
If
the
only
the
Meghan would do that to us. Don't leave the
if only
hotel.
Meghan would go like lock herself away somewhere, but no. And also Tracy's trash because she body brushes in public.
It's so
So
gross.
it's disgusting, but
Well, then
they're
they're
both
perfect
sitting
for each
there
other.
like the
Yeah.
height of high fashion and chicness and aspirational qualities, and they're both such lowlifes.
Megan's got her feet on the seat, getting her germy feet on the seat, and
Hmm.
then Tracy's just like exfoliating in public. And God knows we have her in our in
Or
our
dust
lungs now.
mites
Yeah.
circulating in contained air on aircraft.
Hey guys, Kinsey here, and I wanted to share today's brilliant sponsor with you and tell you why I love Peak. Peak has taken a modern science based approach to wellness, creating tea crystals and superfood blends made with exceptionally clean ingredients. Their products are all about making daily health habits easier and more effective, whether that's supporting digestion, glowing skin, steady energy, or just feeling your best. Personally, hydration was always a struggle for me. Oh, I drank plenty of water, experimented with electrolytes, and even stuck to the right skincare routine. Yet I still dealt with dry skin, brain fog, and restless nights, the absolute worst. That shifted when I started Peak's deep hydration protocol. In the morning, I use BT Fountain, their beauty electrolyte. It helps hydrate from within, smooth skin, and gives me lasting energy. In the evening, I switch to RE Fountain, the calming electrolyte, which contains a gentle form of magnesium that eases tension and helps me get deep, restful sleep without feeling groggy the next day. What sets it apart for me is its purity, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial flavors, just real ingredients like lemon juice and beetroot. Within a week, I noticed my skin looking more plump and hydrated, my focus sharper, and my overall energy. It had improved. If you want to give it a try, I've got a special link in the show notes for you, 20% off for life, plus a free gift with my link, peaklife.com/Kinsey. That's PIQUE life.com/Kinsey. Back to the show. I guess one thing I would ask you, I want to move on to to Thursday before I have to let you go, but there's a weird confidence shift with Meghan. 805 Live, she feels a little timid. Paris, I mean, I don't know if she took some courage pills or what happens over there, but also it's like so ironic to think about Harry saying the UK is not safe enough for Meghan Markle, but like Kim Kardashian had like an invasion in Paris and at Fashion Week, and Harry's like, "Sure, girl, go."
He
Um,
can never again make that argument ever.
yeah.
None
Well,
of us want to hear
hold
it.
on.
None of us.
We're not
Okay.
done. Hold on.
Okay.
And so, but what do you think? Do you think she is just a chameleon and she tries to get a sense of what's appropriate and her radar is just totally off? Or do you think she's just an actress? Because I think she was feeling herself this weekend and I was like, oh my God, but you shouldn't be.
I know. That's the amazing thing. I think both things are true. I think she's a malignant narcissist and an actress. Most malignant narcissists are. They are so consumed with themselves that they cannot read other people. They don't read micro expressions and social cues, and nor do they care to,
Ooh.
you know? So you get what you get when you invite a Meghan Markle anywhere.
Okay, so headlines start exploding about Meghan's feet on the seat, passing Diana's death scene, how she's at Balenciaga, and the internet doesn't forget Balenciaga is just littered with predatory behavior.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, Prince Harry drops to one of his favorite outlets in the UK that he was approached by a stalker not once, but twice the last time he was there when he had his big reunion with his dad. And I think there are two things probably going on. I think he is still desperate for government funded security. So he's trying to garner sympathy from the public by saying, oh, my stalker approached me twice while I was there last time. But B, I definitely think he was trying to distract from the negative Meghan Markle headlines that were starting to circulate because of her behavior in Paris. Do you have an opinion hearing that all of a sudden Harry sources are talking to a UK publication that they're known to work for, saying, poor Harry, this is proof he needs government assistance. This is proof his security should be given back to him. This stalker approached him twice while he was there last time. Also, best part is palace sources said, then stay in California.
Exactly. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Problem solved. It's funny you mentioned that story because I saw those headlines and I didn't even click on a single one because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I actually don't believe anything these two have to say anymore. I don't.
That's the problem, is because everything they say is so vague. Everything they
And
say,
everything's histrionic. Like everything's to quote Spinal Tap, everything's at 11. They're never at like a 4. You know,
right.
it's always an emergency. It's exhausting.
Well, the best part of that story is actually that the internet believes it's one of their fans. Or my thought process is, if it really is this fan that the internet thinks it is, then how will their fans react to being accused of stalking them?
They have fans? How many do you think?
There's the line. There's the line
digits,
of the
right?
day. Before I let you go, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. That's it. That's it. That's the thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thought. It's constructive. So what are your thoughts or predictions for Thursday based on how I think Paris was a you-know-what show? Do you think that she will have the claw out? Do you think she'll be hanging all over him? I mean, she's just proven that she feels safe out in public alone. So the whole claw thing I don't understand that now. Or will we sense a distance because he might be a little turned off by her behavior in Paris?
I'm thinking this through because, when you brought up the stalker story as a potential diversionary tactic, I literally thought, why is he trying to protect her? She just did something unforgivable to him and the memory of his mother. If it really means anything, Harry, then that's unforgivable. And we're leaving. We're taking our things and we're leaving finally. And we're sending in SEAL Team 6 to find the genitals that Meghan has absconded with. Now, last time those two were in New York City, we had, remember, the story of the breathless paparazzi chase.
Well, together, but the last time, Meghan went to Broadway with a 4-car convoy to see Gypsy.
Right. Presidents go to Broadway with a lot less in the way of security. So I think we are going to have to come up with another spectacular tall tale in which their very lives, this is their kink. They love when they talk about their lives being in jeopardy by nefarious forces that are out to get them and nobody else can see what they see. But because it makes them feel really important, this is not the way people who are being targeted behave, by the way.
Right.
It's not the way they behave. So again, we know it's all a lie. And it's very sick and it's very sad. And, these organizations who think that any publicity is good publicity, be careful what you wish for. This is going to be yet another laughing stock.
That's so true. Well, talking about how messed up that Paris trip was, I talked to Sally Bedell Smith and she was explaining how paranoid Diana was of rejection and of abandonment because her mom left so early. And we were saying Prince Harry has clearly adopted this, and because he's constantly talking about the abandonment he felt losing his mom so early and then not having his dad there in the form that he wanted him there. And I just imagine that Prince Harry constantly lives in fear, and Meghan Markle gets her way every single time because he is so fearful of losing her the way he's lost everyone else he cares about. And by the way, 50% of that is consequences of his own actions. William
100%.
doesn't talk to him anymore because of his own behavior.
That's right.
But I imagine that she gets away with murder in that house because he's so afraid of losing her.
Well, she successfully did the thing that I would consider this abuse. That is my opinion. She did the thing that abusers successfully do, which is isolate their victim. She has cut him off from his entire family of origin, from his reason for being, the thing that gave his life purpose and dimension. His old friends, by all accounts, are gone. We saw that again, we need security. To my mind, we looked very hungover, wandering around London, ringing doorbells, trying to find friends who had since moved on years ago and never sent their forwarding address to Montecito. Wonder why. I have seen dynamics like this play out in my own life. And what does typically happen, it can take years, but eventually the spouse that would be the Harry in this scenario does get to the point where they simply cannot live with it anymore. They cannot abide it, and they
Wow.
do leave. And it doesn't matter whether they have anyone or anything really to go to, because nothing is better than dealing with that.
Mm.
So I truly think it's a matter of time.
All right. Last but not least, the canning promo photo. Meghan Markle is canning in a kitchen, and she's using the utensil, the tongs, upside down.
Hmm.
This is a photo that they've taken to brand her as an expert in this space. She wants us to buy
Hmm.
her loose fruit spread. I mean,
Slimy
like,
jam.
it's
Kinsey, give
slimy
yourself
jam.
credit.
I mean, is this just not the perfect example of Meghan Markle as a whole?
So this is what I think is so great about this, because I saw this in my algorithm.
No, I
And
sent it to you.
sorry. Okay, you sent it to me.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
My mistake. Thank you for correcting me. Um what is amazing to me is that the internet, uh by which I mean the world, will not let a single error go unnoticed by one Meghan Markle. Because I think, oh, this is minutia, right? Like, she doesn't really know what she's doing. Okay, we all know she doesn't know what she's doing in the kitchen. We know that. But it's like nobody will let her get away with a single thing, no matter how tiny. She doesn't know what she's doing when she's trying to can stuff and she's got the utensil upside down or whatever. And it's just the metaphor. She literally cannot do anything right. If she has one gripe that I will give credence to, it's that, yeah, we're all over her. Like, the
Yeah.
world will not give her an inch because it's deserved. It's deserved. She's that insufferable.
Well, also, she started it by pointing out everything she didn't like about the royal family, by pointing out everybody else's issues, by by basically trying to school us on how this institution is racist, yada yada yada. Then we start to go like, but wait, your porch isn't that clean either. Who are you to stand in judgment of these people? You just got here. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And I wanted to mention this to you, and I'm glad I remembered. Uh, I think a day or two after Harry once again made his lament again, that the men in gray suits have betrayed him, with, details of the meeting with King Charles. A day or two later, Catherine, Princess of Wales, stepped out in an impeccably tailored, men's tailoring gray suit.
I think
And I just thought,
everyone did that week. Everyone did that week that worked in the royal family.
chef's kiss.
It's so funny.
Brilliant.
It's so funny. All right. Well, agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Maureen Callahan. Everybody has to go subscribe to The Nerve if you haven't, but I have a feeling that you do, because you all love Maureen here so much. Thanks so much for your time today and for that beautiful Paris recap.
It was very cathartic, and I will see you on the backside of New York City next week on The Nerve. I can't wait.
Oh my
Thanks,
gosh.
Kinsey.
I cannot wait either. What do you think she's going to wear this time? A plunger?
Well, she's definitely going to have to buy the clothes, right? Like, she's
I
going
don't
to have
know.
to purchase the clothes. And are we wearing all solids? Are we, you know what? She's not. She's going to
She's going to wear
dress.
muted colors, that's for sure. I love the
I
way
don't, I
she's
disagree.
still showing the British royal family. You don't think so?
Mm-mm. Because she's a ghoul. Okay, so we're going to an event about online bullying that results in teenage and childhood. So I'm going to guess we're going to go with red.
Oh my gosh, that would be
She's
totally
old.
tacky. Wait, really quickly, I forgot to ask you this. Is there longevity in this Balenciaga relationship? Were we being introduced to something here, or was this a PR stunt? What's your vibe? I think there could be longevity because I think neither has morals or values.
I think that the accountants and the bookkeepers are going to take a look at it. There's a reason that Meghan Markle has never landed a major deal with a top tier fashion house. There is a
There's a
reason.
reason why Dior comes out and tells Women's Wear Daily, we are not courting Meghan Markle when those stores.
Despite reports that somehow emerged that Dior was desperate to get
Yeah.
one, would they be able to land her? And
Yeah.
we all, you and I knew, and everybody who's hip to this knows she made it up.
Well,
She's trying to manifest her
the
shit.
best part was when they went and hired the girl that played Kate Middleton on The Crown.
Forgot about that.
All right. Well, thanks so much for talking to me, and I look forward to seeing you next week on The Nerve.
Same, Kinsey. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.